Hey everybody, welcome to Collision Walk, and this is our second half of the walk with our guest star.
If you weren't here for the first half of our walk with Mickey, it was a walk to remember. He was very well behaved. He didn't bark at any dogs.
No, he was good. I was pleasantly surprised that he kept that together. We didn't actually meet a dog
Yeah,
close.
well, you didn't need to point that out, but no, we didn't meet any dogs.
Well, we did meet people, and he was pretty good. We
Yeah,
met
he was
bikes
very
and
well
all sorts of
behaved.
things. Except I'm puffing a bit. You know, we're doing this thing. We haven't gone as far as we normally go, but I've done more work.
He said, well, maybe it's perhaps because although you haven't gone as far, he does like to zigzag on the path just a little bit.
Oh, let's just get over the road because we're going to test this theory.
We're going to run. Oh, there you go. Good job.
I think he's too puffed to bark. It's good.
Oh no, maybe it's just his obedience.
Yeah, I think
he just walked past the dog and did not bark. He's just thinking about it.
Yeah. But I think the other reason I'm puffing, I think I'm getting an upper body workout because it's pull. There's a lot of, but it's good, healthy.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. He's getting back to that dog. The dog's coming this way. Come on, we've just pumped up your tyres.
Come on, Mickey.
We just pumped your tyres, Mickey. Come on. Just one little yip. That's all right. Come on. Anyway, so I should get on this side.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we haven't walked very far, but it's.
Back and forth.
So yeah, this is. I know it's like when you're wearing weights or
those
walks where
or
you do
resistance. Yeah.
Where you're got some weights in your arms and I'm doing one of those.
Or you know those ones where the people will run, but they've got like a band around their waist and someone's holding it behind them to try to stop them from running.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of you with Mickey and Mickey with you.
Yeah, Mickey's like, come on.
I feel like Mickey's always that little guy, you know, when you see in a movie or something and there's a little guy who wants to go fight and someone will interrupt him. He's like, come on, I can take him.
Yeah.
And just like this little wimpy guy versus this big strong guy. You're like, no, you can't.
My dad said many years ago, he had a friend, and the friend was, an elderly gentleman, and Dad was in the car with him, and his car pulled up suddenly or did something wrong in front. He looked over and his mate, this elderly guy, got out of the car and went into the window and gave him a piece of his mind. And they were pretty young, sort of rough sort of guys in the car. My dad thought, whoa. But then he noticed, I don't know whether you can see me from here.
Yeah.
He said he noticed that his mate had his knee against the door.
He's very brave as long as the door doesn't open.
Yeah, he's like, I'll give you a word. But if you wanted to come out and give it back to me, you can't.
Where's that coming? There's a TV show where it's similar to that, and the guys think the doors are locked, so they're kind of giving it to this big bully.
Yeah.
And then the bully just comes in from another door, and you realize there was a second entrance this whole time. You go, oh, okay.
Have you ever seen two dogs barking along a fence and they get to and the gates open? They go, well, I don't know what to do here, We weren't expecting this.
Yeah. This wasn't part of the plan. Oh, this is gorgeous. I love walking when it's a beautiful blue sky.
It is lovely.
This is one of the reasons why we wanted to do the collision walks. It was in spring, and we thought spring is such a beautiful time of year, especially if you're starting to walk or it's a new thing for you, that the weather kind of makes it easier to get out, get moving, and you can just appreciate it, especially after the long months of winter. You come out and you just appreciate the sunshine, the blue skies, see all the gardens, the plants all beginning to come back to life. I feel like it just invites you outside.
Yeah, the green grass just...
Ricky stopped to have another smell.
Okay, come on.
I'm just sad that I don't know if we got it on film. I have to check at the end when Mickey was barking back at the dog behind him and he literally wrapped your knees around.
Well, he went around there, I was stepping around and he goes around again and looped my legs and I'm like, come on. Yeah. But it makes, don't animals, kids make life more interesting?
Yes.
I think being around animals and children is, I think, really good in life because it keeps you, the spontaneity, the uncertainty.
Yes. just embracing life. There's no plan,
Yeah, and
no second guessing.
sometimes not aware of the bigger picture.
Yeah.
So they haven't, but sometimes that's good, keeps you fresh
Yeah.
and on your toes, and having to sort of be adaptable and flexible.
Yeah, definitely. And in fact, there is something so beautiful, as you said, whether it's a child or whether it's an animal, that you can be going through, say you're going through a huge situation at work, and you can have come home from a huge day with lots of pressure, lots of things you're dealing with, but they don't care at all. They don't know anything about it, and they just want to enjoy the evening. They want to enjoy life.
Yeah.
You take Mickey for a walk, and Mickey's just like, have you ever seen this park before? This is amazing.
Have you smelt this little patch of grass? Wow.
And I think it can help you keep perspective of the big picture of life, not just sometimes what you can be so focused on in the day-to-day. I do love it. I remember having this realization that I was out with some kids, and something happened. I don't know if they were singing or dancing, and maybe they asked us to. I remember at first being like, oh, I don't know, that's a bit awkward to do in a restaurant. And then looking around and realizing, like all these people at the restaurant, I don't know them, I won't ever see them again. And realizing that for these kids, it was like, no, this is just an opportunity and a moment to enjoy life. And they were inviting me to be part of it. And if I was going to shut them off to be like, oh no, I can't because of these strangers who I'll never see again.
I'd be too embarrassed.
Yeah, it's like, oh, and I feel like it really helped actually reshape my thinking of actually, the most important thing is the ones who I'm going to continue in life with, how are they seeing me? Not these strangers. These strangers might think I'm a bit of an idiot, and that's fine, but these kids have seen I'm someone who will embrace the moment with them. And I feel like sometimes kids and pets can help you sort of pop the bubble of sometimes what society tries to put you in. Go like, oh, actually, that's not important.
Yeah.
I suddenly realized.
Yeah, there's probably a reason why Jesus said become like a child.
Yeah, or how many kids at Christmas that they'll throw away the toys to play with the boxes that the toys came in.
Yeah, they can find fun in simple
Yeah.
things.
Mickey has this amazing ability to recognize anytime there's a present that's wrapped. As soon as you bring out presents, he knows it's something special. And now it's to the point where every time it's a birthday or Christmas or anything, the first present of everyone's birthday, of every Christmas, has to be a present to him, because he expects it. So he'll come and wait, and so you give him a present, he'll rip it to shreds, and there'll be a squeaky toy, and then he's happy. And if ever we've had a birthday and we've forgotten to get him a toy,
yeah,
he's so confused, so disappointed, and constantly trying to grab all the presents, because he's like, one of these must be from me. And a few times we've done the whole, we'll grab an old toy of his and we'll pretend to wrap it, and he'll unwrap it and be so disappointed because he's like, this isn't new. I know what you've done. You forgot about me. So sometimes we try to buy a few toys to have like on hand, just in case those times ever happen, because he says, I'm expecting and I'm ready for any presents. He says, I know they're from me.
It is one of that live in the moment, and you sort of say, oh, it'd be fun to just be a child, but I've got responsibilities.
Yeah.
That people rely on me. People, expect things, and as fun as that is, I've got responsibilities to my family and others to do. So it is, but just keeping that balance of not growing past that childlike wonder.
Yeah.
The ability just to enjoy, not to be so full of yourself, not to take things so seriously about yourself, just to be able to enjoy.
Oh, let's do a about turn here.
I thought, I know that we're going to go a bit further. Then I looked along where you were looking.
And there was someone else with a leash in their hand.
Mickey has not noticed, so it's a good thing.
It is always funny when we take the dogs or Mickey for a walk, because sometimes the route we select is more about avoiding other dogs.
It's all about avoidance.
Yeah. And distracting him so he doesn't know it's avoiding. Okay, childlike wonder.
Isn't it an imagination and just being able to enjoy. Thinking about, Book of Genesis, where God created Adam and Eve, And then when they sinned, they felt shame, and then they were embarrassed, and then they hid themselves, because in the cool of the day when God would come walking, they could hear him walking, and there was that expectation, oh, we're just going to have time with God. God, the creator of the heavens and the earth, all things are created by him and sustained by him.
Yeah.
His word not only creates but sustains everything that's happening, this huge world. But he visits and just spends time with Adam and Eve.
Wow.
And it's like, oh, sorry, I'm running the universe. Do you think I'd have time just to spend time with you?
Yeah.
But no, he created man, and also he gave him the job to fill the earth, to look after it, to tend it, and to grow it, and to...
Yes.
And do you imagine he'd get there the evening and go, what are you doing wasting your time sitting here? So much to do.
Yes.
Some, you know, but no, they would just, it just sounds like they just fellowship together.
Wow.
And just have a talk, and, you know, maybe God could be asked, you know, what are some of the questions? What did you discover today? What?
Yeah.
As man's
I like that, the fellowship with God.
And just chatting and talking about the creation and talking about the things that they're doing, the plans that they have.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
it does. It puts it into perspective when you realize, oh, this is how God intended it to be in the Garden of Eden. God intended it that, yes, you worked hard, you were diligent, but then he intended it to be also times of fellowship and wonder and enjoying what God has given us. Not just constantly being like, oh, but there's more to do, there's more to do,
no.
there's more to do.
And I think, see, you know, I remember that as you get older, you take simplistic stories like Superman.
Yes.
You know, I grew up reading the OG Superman sort of stories. But as you get older, you suddenly realise he could be preventing disasters all around the world.
But he's got a job.
He's sitting there at a desk, you know, writing a report because, you know, someone's banged their car into another car. And he's just hanging around listening to the newspaper reports in case something bigger turns up in McConnell.
Yes.
But he could be over rescuing so many. And it's like, and it sort of gets, when you actually stop and think about what you could do.
Yeah.
And to...
It feels a bit insipid how little he does.
Yeah, and it's so selfish and ridiculous. You know, but it only works if you cut all that out.
Yeah.
Now when Jesus came to the earth, you sort of think, well, hang on a sec. There were so many more sick people.
Yeah.
Why did he stop and rest? You know, what?
Yeah, why was he a carpenter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
30 years and then only 3 years of ministry.
Hey.
You know what? Listen, couldn't he have started at 15 or 16?
Yeah. At 12,
really.
he was already in the temple.
Yeah, 12.
Yeah.
Let's get this job done. You know, there's so much to do. And what's he resting? Why is he sleeping? Why is he? And that's a little bit why the disciples came to him and said, you know, revival's breaking out. So many people being healed. And he said, and they're all looking for you. And we got up in the morning and you're gone. You're out here in the desert spending time.
Yeah,
and he
fellowshipping.
Fellowshipping and talking to God. And he said, well, we've got to do what we came to do. And we've got to go to the other cities also. He recognised. But that sort of thing, when you're talking about Superman, because it's unguided, it's only people imagining, so it's only ridiculous. But the benefit is when you have someone who is the Lord of the universe, the creator of the universe, guiding the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's not our responsibility to get the whole thing done.
Yeah.
It's our responsibility to do what God tells us to do.
To do our part.
Yeah, and then he takes care of the other. And he's big enough that he can be running the universe at the same time as just having fellowship and speaking to us. But we need to get into that rest and that place where we acknowledge that and we're just doing what God calls us to do in his rhythms.
Yeah.
And
that's so true. And I love that concept of, imagine if Superman's parents were on Earth with him and he was reporting to them and they told him, no, keep a job at the, is it Daily Planet?
Yeah,
keep a job there and this is your task to do today. Then in no way would I judge him for doing those things.
No,
it's
because
like
there's a master plan and he's just being his part of it.
He's just fitting into it. Versus when it's just him, you go, oh, come on, surely there's more you could be doing. Hi. But saying that for us, it's we're not Superman trying to do it all ourselves. We're actually just reporting to the master who's got a grand plan, who sees it all, sees the future, knows what's going to happen, knows how to bring it all together, sees that 4D chessboard, and he'll just tell you do this,
Yeah.
And if you're diligent and if you're enthusiastic and you embrace it and do it to the best of your ability, but then say, well, God, there's things I'm not doing, but I'm trusting that because on that 4D chessboard, other pieces are being moved to do the things which you would think, oh, shouldn't I be doing that? Shouldn't I be doing that? It's like, no, just actually God's like, do this. And he said, I can see it all coming together.
And I think that's where the merging in with the wonder of children and that trust in them.
Yes.
That they're not burdened by the big picture,
Yeah.
but they can see and enjoy the big picture at times. They can imagine things. And if you said to a child, tomorrow we're going to see the Queen, they say, oh, wow, what am I going to wear?
Yes.
Right? As opposed if I said to you, tomorrow we're going to see the Queen, you have a question, how?
Yes, that's so true.
What do I, you know, what are you
but
talking?
are you sure why?
Yeah, well, no, that's not going to happen.
Yes.
But if a child is like, wow. And so I think there's that mixture of that childlike trust, but also the openness to the big picture, where God can show us things and we can imagine and see things and expect things that are big and grand and do the big picture, as opposed to be struck down by well, how are we going to get this done? Yeah,
well, what do I need to do today then?
Yeah, and
does that mean I'm not working tomorrow? What do I need to get done today?
And so when they said, Jesus,
what about this? Don't we usually do that on tomorrow? Isn't that meant to be tomorrow? What about this?
And Jesus said, feed them. And they're like, oh, this much money wouldn't feed them.
Yeah.
He didn't see,
Hi.
Yeah, he just wants us to get caught up. Oh, wow, okay, you're calling me to reach these people, to heal this, to do this. I can imagine that, I can see that, I can get excited by it. And then it becomes a part of us getting in step with him to do those things. But in that childlike simplicity of faith and wonder, but not being overwhelmed by it, but not also losing. Because don't they say that a lot of adults lose their imagination?
Yeah.
And children that are brought up not in a healthy situation have very little imagination.
Yeah, that's so true.
Because they're not encouraged or free to imagine.
Yeah.
And that's why some of the some movies are a bit stupid, some movies are woke. But there's a few movies where they I really like the Toy Story ones.
Yes.
Where it's all about imagining and enjoying, and it was always like the child through the toys enjoying this being
creating these big grand pictures
and fun stories.
Yeah.
And
I remember seeing an interview with a screenwriter, and he wrote a story, and he said he wrote it during COVID. So he had daughters who, I don't know, maybe like 10 or 12, maybe a bit younger. But he said one day he was talking to them and he started noticing that they were like having, how would I describe it? They were thinking like grown-ups in terms of grown-up problems of what's the world going to look like after COVID? When will we get out of lockdown? And he said it really shook him because he's thinking, as kids, you shouldn't be thinking about these things. You shouldn't be worrying about pandemics. And he said he realized that what they were walking through globally was actually impacting. So he wrote a story which was all about encouraging people to find that imagination. But I thought it was an interesting concept of really seeking
we've got
that
another
concept.
special guest over here.
Mickey, do you recognize who it is? But finding that imagination again and not letting the world take it away, because it is such a gift. And as Christians, we know it's a gift from God. But you might recognize this one in blue. Who is it, Mickey? Who is it?
Hello.
That is Pastor Peter's son, my brother Jordan, or Jay, Mickey's uncle.
He says, Jay, it's so exciting.
He hasn't barked, he only barked once at one dog. Jay doesn't believe us. But he's just finding that wonder and that imagination again and realizing it's a gift from us. Hey!
That was the sneaky.
That was a very sneaky last minute sniff. A gift from God.
But yeah, I think that's right. It's like being able to. Yeah. I think it's sad. Often adults are using children as tools filling them with fear,
Yeah.
and trying to then pump them to become a voice of innocence that then can compel older people to action. And you see that very much, I think, in climate change.
Yes.
You know, and you've got the...
Yeah, you were trying to use the kids' voices.
Yeah, so in order to do that, you pump them full of fear till they become so exasperated.
Yeah, and you warp their imagination.
Yeah, and they see a future that's so terrible, and they're so scared, and they're telling the older people, fix it now, you know, how dare you, don't fix it. And but yeah, that's very sad, because that's not what it's designed for.
No.
That's a warped version. Whereas you fill them with the wonder. I want our kids to be so filled with the wonder and the goodness of God, they just want to tell the world. They want to change the world, and they want to know that God believes that what He has put in them, the gifts and the anointings, is enable them to do great things and to imagine great things. But you know, sometimes children can lose that imagination as they grow older, and it's almost beat out of them by not physically beat, but beaten out of them by
society will and
the disappointments of this world.
Yeah, or people sort of laughing and snickering and trying to remind them how unlikely it is, all these things. And that's why one of my favorite things at Breakthrough is we've got Super Kid Academy, and I'm one of the Super Kid commanders there. And every year we try to make sure we dedicate a class where we get the kids to create their own vision boards. You know, we print off photos for things that they're believing for their life, for their church, for their family, for their friends. And, you know, we always encourage the kids to chat to their parents about what they want to go on the vision board. So we do try to say that have some guidance, have some, you know, get some input from your parents. But we'll always make sure we tell the parents and tell the kids that we're not going to stop, as long as it's not ungodly, we're not going to not put anything on a board because we, as grown-ups, think, oh, that's impossible, that's too big. Should we cross over? Just doing one more avoidance of a dog. And one of my favorite things as a commander is how many things God has brought about supernaturally that were specifically on that board.
Yep.
And sometimes it can be really simple things. I remember we had one boy who he put on his vision board that his family would often go camping, and he had a dream that one day they would go camping right on the beach. So we said, absolutely, like, yeah, we'll print that off. And talking to his dad a while later, and I don't think the dad had even realized it was on his vision board. And he said, sure enough, they were going camping once, and God just opened it up that the spot they happened to get was right on the beach. And he said when his son went there, his son was so excited. He's like, Dad, this is God answering my prayer. And his dad's like, I didn't even know that this was anything to do with your vision, but look what God's done. Or we had a girl, there was an event that would run every year in Melbourne, and she wanted to go, but her family didn't have the money. And then her grandma told us a while later that someone just randomly gifted them tickets because they'd bought tickets and had to pull out. And so they said, would your family like to go? I was like, I see, this is when kids put their faith in God and they pray and they use their faith to call things into being, and God answers it. And I find that so exciting because it shows the kids that you don't have to wait to be a grown-up for God to start asking God for things, and God listens to your prayers and God cares about your prayers.
We might have seen that which we were
we
avoiding.
Might have noticed the dog. Oh, Mickey, you've done so well.
Well, that was it. Okay.
Mickey! It's kind of fitting that he ends with a little demonstration of what it can be like.
Oh, there's one in there too, right? I'll do them both. Oh.
So I'm just saying hi.
I am doing a workout.
Yeah. Oh, should we stop at this tree up here? Mickey, you've done very well. Very well indeed.
Can we trim it 1 minute and you've done excellent.
Thank you so much for joining
Thanks,
us
everybody.
and Mickey on today's walk. Keep your imagination strong. Pray big prayers.
Why don't you make that your challenge? Just stop. I'm just going to spend some time with God and just in childlike trust and simplicity, just enjoy Him.
Yeah.
And also just enjoy thinking about the things that God would have you think about.
Amen. Well, we're so excited to walk with you in a few days' time. Let's.